Hi Team Wolf, so this training video is in regards to expectations for your sponsoring activity and really the reality of it, because you might be following other people in the business, whether they are leaders in the business, whether it's team members, and thinking, well, what are they doing that I'm not? And it really isn't anything different. But the people that are succeeding in this business and going on the incentives, achieving chairman's bonus, achieving their 4K credits, achieving Eagle, manager, all those positions is just pure consistency, following the business cycle, using their first steps to manager, and speaking to people every single day about the business. So you might have weeks where you're speaking to a lot of people and you don't quite understand why no one's responded, why you've not taken anyone to the BP, why you've not had a one-to-one with anybody, because it's really all about timing for people. And just as you've probably seen on other videos about handling objections, no's are a really good thing and it's about timing, but you shouldn't let that stop you in your tracks and stop you doing your business every day, because it's just like brushing your teeth every single day. It's just about showing people the products and the business. That's all Forever asks you to do if you wish to be successful. Really, really simple. The hardest thing is to keep consistent and why you're doing it. So you might have weeks on your pipeline where you've got loads and loads of people on there and it's highlighted in a certain colour, whatever you've chosen, because you sponsored, let's say, 2 or 5 people in that month. And then the next month you do exactly the same activity, but you've not got any highlights whatsoever when you've sponsored, or you've not sponsored anybody on month 2. This is completely normal. This can happen. So it's just to understand that it's not what you're doing. It's just about timing. And I would say a really good analogy to think of it like, and I really got it when Andy did a slot on people being too full up to take it in. So let's say, for instance, you've just had dinner and you've gone out afterwards in dinner and you see, I don't know, a kebab van. And you think, wow, that looks really, really tasty, but you're too full at the time because you've just eaten. Yet if you hadn't eaten that hour ago, you might have been hungry enough to go to the kebab van and got a kebab. So yes, it sounds a bit of a weird analogy, but everybody in their life has got a certain timing of when they are ready to look at the opportunity, when they're ready to look at the products, when they're ready to start healthier them. You know, it could be absolutely anything. It's just like when someone's ready to get married, when someone's ready to have a baby. It's all about timing, and that's really important to think about them and not you and the case credits that it could be worth to you, or the money that it could be worth to you, because that's not what this business is about. It's purely about showing people the business, showing people the products and helping them. So obviously you're going to have your pipeline, which we would have gone through, and you can obviously see on that there's on that pipeline, I've not sponsored anybody. It might be that it's just not the right timing for them, and that's all I'm saying about this training. Sponsoring is something that you shouldn't be afraid of, and it shouldn't be something that you're thinking, what am I doing wrong? I would definitely say if you're consistently talking to people about the business, you know, for more than a month, 2 months, 3 months, and you're still not sponsoring, really do speak to your upline. Seek, you know, advice from your sponsor upline about maybe it's what you're saying. Maybe you're not actually following the business cycle in that first steps to manager whatsoever. Maybe you're skipping from 1 to 2 or 2 to 1. You know, you might be doing it wrong. So just remember to plan, do, review, which we've spoken about before in your 7-day plan. You know, you shouldn't keep doing stuff and get the you know, an outcome which isn't serving you, because that is insanity. You've just got to plan it, do it, review it, and make sure that what you're doing is producing results. You might not see results straight away, and that's completely normal at the beginning of your business. So the people that are sponsoring queens, let's say, or sponsoring kings, they're not just speaking to 5 to 10 people a day or 2 to 5 people a day. They're speaking to probably 10 to 20 to 30 people a day about the business. That's because they get in front of people when they're out making new friends and networking, messaging people on Facebook, LinkedIn, literally just on it. on it, on it, on it, on it, on it, on it. It's just like someone going to the gym and let's say, you know, like my pole competition that I've done before, every single day I was consistent with my training because I needed to for that end result. So it's just like you need to treat it the same with your sponsoring activity. If you want to sponsor more than 1 or 2 people a month, you need to be speaking to a lot of people, because the reality is you know, you're going to get a lot more no's and you're going to get yeses. So you'll have to work out your own statistics. So it's just to be okay, not be disheartened by it. My top tip would just to be doing your consistent activity every day, which is your income producing activity, speaking to people about the business, speaking to people about the products, getting in front of people and following that business cycle. That's all you need to do a day, and that's going to take no longer than a few hours a day. So make sure you're planning yourself really, really well. Understand that sponsoring can be for anybody and everybody, but it's just if you choose to obviously do the right activity in the right way to get those results. So, and that's simply following the business cycle and the first steps to manager. So if you've got any questions, guys, please ask myself or your upline, and happy sponsoring. Bye.